like you said, we were supposed to do this when Bricc was out, right? Because Bricc threw a shot, we threw the shot back. We were supposed to have to sit down and figure out what was going on with that.
But you guys didn't want to sit down with Loose Cannon also.
I didn't even know nothing about Loose.
Okay.
We never even discussed Loose. We just talked about Bricc. I got no dealings with Loose Cannon at all.
Okay.
But you pushed it back and you seemed real urgent, like I got to get this done today with the Loose and Bricc thing. So did you know the feds was coming to do the sweep?
No, but it was like, there's been so many different times where it was like, Wack and Bricc were supposed to do the podcast together, and then within 24 hours, somehow they end up on an academics call screaming at each other, and it's just over. Or even like, I don't know if there were other times where Loose and Bricc were set to get on camera together, but it just felt like that relationship has been such a delicate one that as long as we had this window where it was like, oh shit, like Loose is down to sit with Bricc, baby, Bricc sit down with Loose, it's like, we got to get this done ASAP.
What made it that day, though? Because that day, they got swept. And that day was the same day we were supposed to be on. So to me, it's like, you had to know.
Hell no. Well, you think the feds are just hitting me up like, hey, we're about to arrest your
Not
Eagle has landed.
Listen, that's not out of the question. That's not out of the
It was
question.
a lot of things. It was a lot of things surfacing. They were saying, "Oh, Adam had the suit on, so he knew something." They was throwing some.
Oh yeah, and that worked out very weirdly. I would like to clarify for the record that earlier in that day, I had been filming a pornographic film in which I had to wear a suit. And then when I got done with the scene, I looked at myself and I'm like, am I really going to spend 5 minutes changing out of this suit to put back on jeans and a t-shirt? No, I'm going to wear this suit because keep in mind the week before we had Rosenberg and he had kind of wowed me with how cool his whole swag was rocking the suit. So I was just like, you know what, I'm going to wear this. And then that seemed like a very prophetic decision being that I think that's the only time I ever wore a suit on the podcast. And it was right before. So the boys who wear suits showed up.
Oh, that was a coincidence?
Yes.
No, he literally he literally was filming like a cosplay porn earlier, apparently.
Severance porn for the record.
Yeah.
I was dressed up like
exactly what was going on.
I was Mark S.
You was there watching the porn.
Mark S.
I was in the corner.
I was out there watching him film.
I just blew my own spot. He didn't know. I seen the whole thing.
And before we even get more into that, I just remembered, hey, I got to send a huge shout out to Fashion Nova because they got me these black jeans that I'm absolutely loving. As long as the feds are watching, I hope that I'm rocking Fashion Nova. And in addition to that, I would also like to say that today's episode is brought to you by E420, the go-to spot for all of your smoking essentials. Yes, we have the inflatable joint with the Everything 420 logo up right there. But also, if you're into vapes, legal THC, premium glass, or just need to restock your smoking setup, E420, which is the app, also everything420.com, makes it ridiculously easy. All you got to do, download the E420 app. It takes just seconds. You just search E420 in the App Store, download it, and you're set. A few taps, and boom, your stuff is on the way to your door. And they have top brands like Cookies, Stizzy, Packwoods, Cake, Runts, and more, all available on the app. So download the E420 app and use code NOJUMPER at checkout for a special deal. Okay.
It's not going to the feds. Don't worry.
No, the feds are not tracking your E420 purchases.
Yeah.
But, okay, so can we try to, like, figure out the root of where this Brit Baby animosity or why we're even joking about you guys being ops, like where exactly that originated from for the fans who aren't fully caught up on the lore?
It originated from Bricc coming on the show, asking Flaco why he's bringing all these Long Beach cats up here. Last I looked, we were the last few Long Beach cats up here. With P Nights was up here and Taya Third was up here. So I'm like, damn, what the fuck is he on? He pressing Flaco about us coming up there for what? We don't know, cuz we never talked to that nigga at all. So I was confused. So I just threw a little dart back. And that turned into we ops. But really, it sparked from him speaking on us first, which he later came back to clarify he wasn't speaking on us. He was speaking on the homie, Brandon, a.k.a. Uncle Ruckus. Shout out my boy, Long Beach. I got us. He was in the building. And I don't know what happened with him and Bricc, but apparently Bricc had been not wanting him to continue to be in the building. So that's how it turned out.
I feel like part of what makes Bricc valuable as a podcaster is the fact that he's just always saying some surprising shit. Because I don't think he ever really at any point was actually deluded enough to be like, okay, I have some small tension with P Nice and DW, so therefore everybody from Long Beach is my op. But he'll just say some shit on the podcast that'll kind of send the narratives flying and create a whole situation, and then he'll come on the next episode and be like, I was just kidding.
But it's like I said before, though. It's not just Long Beach. They're all from the city.
Hey, hold on. Relax with all that.
No,
I'm right, though.
He already said he called it right. It is what it is.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Like Les was saying, we all from the same set at the end of the day. So that's what made it even more like the scope is smaller. Brandon was the only other one that wasn't that's just from the city.
Okay.
Yeah, think about it from Brick's perspective. There was literally a controversial fiasco because of words used that refer to these specific sections. Then Flaco befriends everybody that's down with D-Dub and Be Nice. They happen to be super cool.
Well, first we got to correct that. We was already tapped in with Flaco before that whole fiasco happened behind the scenes, because I didn't get along with Flaco from the jump.
Yeah.
So Flaco came over to our podcast. We had words, hashed it out. We not like the best of friends outside of content, but for content purposes, yeah, we fuck with Flaco. So it wasn't because of Bricc, like he came and teamed up with us.
No, of course not. But it just, what I was saying is from Brick's perspective, why that might have been like, why are you doing this? What are you trying to? Are you trying to like say something? Are you trying to do? That's I think what Bricc was coming from.
So yeah, the Bricc thing. Where did they get left? Because I feel like the last thing that I really saw about it was TF Third basically saying that he wanted this fade with Bricc. Where's that conversation? I don't think they ever had it. Did Bricc even really respond to that?
Yeah, they did, and like they're cool, but they need to get that out the way.
Nah, Tay was confused because they had just spoke on FaceTime about Bricc coming to the city to do content because he got a pod as well. So once he came up here and was downplaying Tay's career, like, oh yeah, he's a rapper, not a famous one, and he like, nigga, I just talked to you on the phone, nigga, what the fuck, what are you on?
Yeah,
is this content or not? So it'd be one thing on the phone, and then you come in the studio, it'd be something else. Then the fans run with the narratives. Now you get trolled, and that's what you get.
That's kind of funny because that's, in terms of Brick's sense of humor, that's the same shit that I expect to probably be a narrative with 4 Extras. Because like they've been cool, they've been around each other, they've been on the podcast and stuff, and then I feel like Bricc, when asked, will just start saying shit on camera that he wouldn't necessarily say to 4 Extras. Like he kind of hinted at him being like, I forget what his actual wording was, but basically like not being all the way there. And I just assumed that
sped.
That was the word. Yeah, if 4 Extras gets out, that's probably gonna be when he gets out, that's gonna be a whole conversation. I don't know.